If you want to be a direct distributor, then you'll use books and tapes. Because when I was new in the business, and about 3%, I spoke to a diamond, and that diamond said to me, Peter, you don't have to use books and tapes, mate. You don't have to use them. But you don't have to be successful either. It's your decision. Entirely up to you, mate. You bake the cake or you let it go flat. It's entirely up to you. You leave the ingredients out, it doesn't rise. And it's the same with this business. I hope you're living a dream and not a nightmare. How many of you are going to get up tomorrow morning and think, wow, I've got a chance to go to work today? When I get to work, I'm going to go up to my boss, I'm going to say, how are you? I missed you over the weekend. How many of you get a round of applause when you get to work? How many of you get recognition for turning up? All you new people here tonight, you've got recognition from the people already in the business for being here. If you don't come again, fine. But we recognise the fact you came for this one time. And we think that's great. And we hope if you don't build the Amway business, you find something else to be successful in. Something else for your life. You make the difference. Other people don't. Okay? The only thing that can stop you building this business is somebody else's mouth. Or somebody else's opinion. Because if you've made a conscious decision that you're going to build this business, nobody can stop you. Nobody. Because if it's for you, you'll know. It'll be in your heart. You move your business from there to there, and you'll build it. If it's still there, you won't. It isn't a logical business. It's a loving, caring, sharing business. It's a business that you have to get up, go out, spend time with people, love them to death, and eventually you'll be successful. If you find 6 people to love, get them to love you, you'll be a diamond. And I'm a 6'5" ex-policeman telling you that I go out trying to find people to love. And some of you fellas at the back who are new in the business think, what a soppy sit, what an idiot. I couldn't care less. Because this business will work only if you're prepared to love and care for people. Seriously. And you've got leadership in this room that will love and care for you. What you are is God's gift to you. And what you become is your gift to God. Okay? You were put on this earth not to work in a factory and put boxes together or put lids on bottles. Okay? You were put on this earth to create something. And I hope it's going to be a life. And I hope you're going to get to the age of 65 and your kids are going to turn around to you and say, Dad, I'm bloody proud of you. I hope your kids are going to look at you and they're going to say, Mum, do you know what? There was a time when I thought Amway was a pain. And I thought that all you ever did was Amway, Amway, Amway. But you know what? You're special. And if your kids can say that to you, you've made it. Because that's basically what you had them for. Wasn't it? I don't want to get too heavy with you tonight, okay? I want to get a little bit light-hearted. I want to let you know that the business is fun, all right? We have a real giggle. Mary and I have a laugh in this business. We work very hard, and I know we do, and sometimes we look at each other and we think to ourselves, how much longer have we got to keep up this pace? But then we look at what we've got and what we've had from the business, and we realise it's worth it, and it'll still be there tomorrow, even if we have a day off. So it's worth it. But I'll ask you a question. Some of you in the room have been in the business a little while. Have you got the brakes on in your business? Are you holding back? Have you got something that you're afraid of that's stopping you building this business? And it's probably just this one thing. It's your fear of other people. It's your fear of asking somebody to see this business, or your fear of asking somebody to try these products. And if you're honest with yourself, you'll know that that's the truth. Because we're all in here tonight, and those 4 couples that stood up and did wham-tos, they are tremendous people. And in my eyes, those people have come a long, long way, because none of them would have believed they could have done that before they came into Amway. And they stood up here tonight and spoke to you because they are overcoming that fear of other people. Why are we afraid of other? We live in the 4th most densely populated nation in the world. There are 54 million people out there, and nobody wants to talk to each other. Who gets on a train on the mornings and goes to work and sits there and looks at the other people? And they look at you. Do you know what? You could drop dead in front of them, they wouldn't notice it. I'm not kidding. I was a copper for 8 years. I went to situations where things had happened to people and everybody was just walking over them. I've seen people dying on the pavement and other people just walking past them. Seriously. That's the kind of people that we are. Let's not carry on being like that. Let's be a little bit different, shall we? Look at the images that society puts on you, okay? Look at the kind of things. You look at Pete and Vera, and you say, well, they were born to be emeralds. They were born to be successful. Look, Pete and Mary, they're born to be successful. I mean, he's got the gift of the gab. And she's so good looking, you know? Well, I hope you don't go to hospital tomorrow and you get operated on by a born doctor. You're in trouble. That man was trained, and he trained himself. And every direct distributor in Amway was trained, okay? By other direct distributors and by himself. I was trained to be a policeman. And all I got for my trouble was bow-legged, okay, because I was a motorbike cop. I got sore thighs, okay, because I was a motorbike cop. I got filthy, smelly, because I was sitting on the back of one of those things all day. And I got dead flies in my teeth, because I used to smile a lot. But I'll tell you, one morning, this is true, this is 1982, right? This is a year before I left the police force. 1982, 6 a.m. I'm sitting on an 800 BMW in the West End. It's January. It's -6 degrees. It's dark. It's wet. It's been snowing. But I don't care. You still take the bike out, been snowing or not. You can kill yourself, just don't hurt the bike. I've got 2 pairs of socks on, a pair of ordinary joppers, a pair of over trousers, and a pair of trousers over that, which are like sort of nylon things, bell staffs for you guys that ride bikes. I've got a t-shirt on, a shirt, a tunic, 2 inner linings, and then I've got a bell staff over that. I look like the Incredible Hulk in black. I've got a pair of ordinary leather gloves and a pair of police driving mittens on the top, the white and black ones. And I am frozen stiff. And every 150 yards, I'm stopping this bike, I'm getting off of it, and I'm putting my hands on the pots to keep them warm so I can move my fingers to ride the bike. In the panniers, do you know what I was doing? I got £3,500 with a motorbike. It cost the Metropolitan Police something like £4,000 to train me, okay, in all the things I had to do to ride that thing. I'm delivering mail to police stations. Seriously. I was taking letters from one police station to another at 6 o'clock in the morning. I stopped in the West End, sat on my bike, there's nobody about. I was a direct in Amway. I was already a direct in Amway. And I sat there, and I looked around, I said, Powdram, what are you doing? For crying out loud. You are 25 years of age, and you are freezing yourself silly on the back of this bike. And I screamed at the top of my voice, that's it, I've had enough, I'm finished with this. And that was the decision. That was when I made the decision I was coming out of the Metropolitan Police. 12 months later, I walked away from that job. Okay. I'll tell you about the Metropolitan Police. I'm talking about images, right? I'm talking about the situation you get yourself into if you ain't careful. I didn't hate that job because I didn't know any better. But I remember riding my bike down Horsefree Road in Victoria. I don't know if you know London, any of you. And as I came round from the top end of Horsefree Road towards Lambeth Bridge, on the right-hand side outside the petrol station is an elderly woman laying on the footway, dying, literally. She just had a heart attack. I pulled my bike up. Unfortunately, as you may or may not know, policemen are all sort of trained in first aid, so I started giving her heart massage where a doctor who was passing from Westminster Hospital was giving her artificial respiration. And then we changed places because it's quite hard work. We kept her alive for 20 minutes till the ambulance arrived. The ambulance had to come from 3 roads down, Westminster Hospital. If you know London, you know where that is. We got her to the hospital and she lived. And I suppose really I ought to be in some way proud of myself. But then again, as far as I was concerned, it was a job. I got to my traffic point on the south side of Lambeth Bridge 35 minutes late. My inspector came up to me and said, where you been? I said, well, I was over there. Before I could say anything, he said, you're late. You're supposed to have been here 35 minutes ago, doing this point. And I said, yeah, sorry about that, sir. He said, you will be, son, and walked away. Now, that man will never know that I got involved in that and that I effectively helped to save that woman's life. But that was the kind of regime I was under. And perhaps you've got that kind of regime. Some of you, your bosses are psychopaths. They are. Psychopathic megalomaniacs, some of them. You go to work tomorrow morning and you want to keep your job and your boss calls you in. He says, look, I've got this brilliant idea I've just had. We're going to paint all the carpets green. Because I've read this report in Psychology Weekly that by painting the carpets green, the typist will type 50% faster. And we'll stand there and go, yeah, that's brilliant, sir, brilliant. When do you want me to start? The guy's a psycho. But you'll listen to him because he's your boss. You don't turn around and say, what are you, some sort of idiot or what? You'll say, well, how many brushes do you want, sir? You will, because you need your job. Well, I went into my governor's office one day in December 1982, and he said to me, You're not doing that next week, you're doing this that week, you're doing that the week after, and that the week after, he said, because we've had some trouble and we need this covered. And he completely fouled up all my plans. He just annihilated my 9% club, annihilated my rally, and all the other meetings I had planned. And I said, tell you what, see that date there, 4th of January? I said, I'm giving you 4 weeks' notice, you can find somebody else to do your night duty, goodbye. And I walked out of his office. And a weight came off my shoulders like I'd just gone into orbit. I was a free man. That man could not tell me what to do ever again. So I sat in the office with my feet up for a month. I ain't got no fight with the miners. What do I want to put a uniform on and go and punch up the miners for? I've got no fight with those men. I've got no dispute with them. I spent 18 months in Amway, and they put me on an aeroplane and sent me to Malta, all expenses paid, 5-star hotel. I spent 8 years in the Metropolitan Police, and they put me on a coach and sent me to Brixton. All I want to ask you is, will you change? Are you prepared to pay the price to build this business? Are you? If you're not, I'm not going to tell you you're a failure. I'm not going to turn around and say you're a loser. You're not a loser. All I want to say to you is that the Amway business works. You have to make a decision as to whether it's going to be you that works it or your neighbour that's going to do it. Because I've got some information for you. If it's not you, in 10 years' time, you are going to know somebody that's made it in Amway. You are. You're going to be sitting at home looking at a television, and an advert's going to come on for Amway SA8. And you're going to sit there and you are going to be sick as a pig. Because you were in that in 1984 and it's still around. And you're going to wonder why it still lasted so long. I did a meeting the other night, there's a guy there, he said, I saw this 5 years ago. I said, it's still around, isn't it? And he said, yeah, it is. I said, I saw it 4 years ago and got in. He says, yeah. He still ain't come in. He still don't believe it. It's been another 5 years, I saw this twice. Your upline believe in you. Sometimes I wonder why. But they do. They believe in you more than you believe in yourself. Okay? We got people in our business that we really critically believe in, and they don't really believe that they can go 3%, and we believe they could be direct. And they look at us and they say, why, Peter? Why do you believe in me? And I say, because, mate, I've been where you are. And I know what's going through your head. And I know that if it can happen for me, it can happen for you. You ain't no different. You've got 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes, 2 ears and a nose. Right? And I know direct distributors who can't walk, can't see, are deaf and dumb. And if they can do it, you ain't got no excuses, mister. So therefore I know that everybody in this room can be a direct distributor. Everybody. You can all make it in this business. Okay? All of you. It's disgusting when you think about it, that your upline believe in you more than you believe in yourself, isn't it? Imagine somebody else thinks more of you than you think of yourself. Imagine. That's disgusting, isn't it? Really? I think it is. I would hate to think that Pete and Vera thought Mary and I were capable of more than I believe we were. Okay? Because I know that we will be diamonds in this business. I know we'll be beyond that. I know. We're already diamonds. We're just waiting for the group to catch up. It's that simple. I'll tell you about the alternatives. Perhaps that'll shake you up. I don't know. Perhaps nothing I say will shake you up. Perhaps you think I'm an idiot. I don't care. I'll still be all right next month. I'm trying to get you to motivate yourself to get up and go out and change your life. When I went into my chief superintendent's office, the man couldn't even ride motorbikes. And I went into his office, because he'd been promoted to that position, and he said to me, you've got to sort yourself out, son. You have got to sort yourself out. You've got another 22 years to do yet. This was after on the bike, in the ice, and I went, yeah, I've got to sort myself out, sir. He said, you have? I said, I'll do something about it, sir. He said, you better. We were on different wavelengths, but I knew what I had to do about it. Gentlemen, if you are going to work for 45 years for another man, good luck to you. Because the majority of men in this country are prepared to do that. You will then work 108,000 hours for somebody else. Okay? That's what you are allowing yourself to do. If you become a diamond direct in Amway, and let's assume it takes you 5 years. Remembering, of course, that diamonds are in the 20 to 30, 40, 50,000 pound bracket. Now, if it takes you 5 years, and let's say you did 10 hours a week, it will take you 4,000 hours to build this business. That is less than 4% of the time you are prepared to work for another man, and you're wondering whether it's worth doing 4% of your life for yourself, but you're prepared to do 100% for somebody else, you have got to be joking. You really have. You do 40 hours a week for somebody else, but you won't do 10 hours a week for yourself. And you'll say to me, well, I don't know, I mean, Dream Night, that's a long way, that's Coventry, you know. Coventry is about 98 miles from here, I think. How many of you travel to work every morning? Add up the number of miles you'll do for your boss every week. Add up the number of miles you'll do for your boss every year. Add up the number of miles you'll do for him every year of your life until you give up, which is be 65 when the nation turns around and says, we don't need you anymore, here's your £32 a week. Add that up and see if it comes to 98 miles. All right? That's the difference between building this business and being in a rut. Because that's where most people obviously are. When you're 16 years old, they take your brain out in this country. They do. Take your brain out, take your dreams away. Now, you can't have them Ferraris you used to have on your bedroom wall, son. Don't be silly, go and get a job. You don't want your own house, that's a millstone around your neck. A mortgage. You get yourself a good job, son. Has anybody ever told you how to create a job? Has anybody ever told you how to create a living? No, they haven't. They've told you to go and get a job. 91% of this nation's workforce work for somebody else, and they have got 15% of the wealth. The other 85% of the wealth is in the pockets of the 9% self-employed. It's not a political meeting, this. It's an Amway meeting. It's the same thing, though, when you think about where you are and where you could be. You might say, well, it's all right for Pete Powderham. He's lucky. He found the right people. Yeah, we were lucky that we worked 4 deep in one leg when we couldn't find any leaders and it went 21%. We were lucky when we went to travel to Shropshire, which is 200 miles from us, so they could go 12%. When we travelled to Cornwall, so they could go 15%, a 750-mile round trip. I did 150 miles last Tuesday into Middlesex for a no-show. That was lucky. In 1983, we had 14 straight no's in a row, and we were direct distributors, and people didn't want to join us. 2 months later, we were rubies, because the next company sponsor went 15%. I was lucky when an insurance salesman rang me up, tried to sell me insurance, and I turned the tables on him, and we created a new direct distributor this month. We were lucky when a customer said, do you sell these products to make money? And I said, yes, and they'd gone 21%. We're lucky when a guy sold me a car 3 months ago, brand new one, and he said, what do you do for a living? He's 6%. And the guy that sold me the car before that, he said, what do you do for a living? He's 3%. And my dentist said to me, what are you doing now, Peter? I said, helping people like you make money. He's 15%. And my mum and dad said, what's this thing you're in? They're 3%. And when a 2-year-old acquaintance that Mary knew at college came round to see the plan, went ruby and's got 3 directs in his business. Just lucky. My old boss said to me, what are you up to, Peter? He's 15%. Okay? That ain't lucky. That's making a conscious decision. You're going to ask people to see this plan. It's the small accomplishments that build the big goals. For you people that got 3% pins tonight, you are tremendous. Because you've got the guts to get up and go out and create the first level of this business. So if you can do 1, you can do 2. If you can do 3%, you can do 6. You can do 9, 12, 15, 18, 21 and beyond. Because you've already done it, so do it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and keep doing it, and doing it, and doing it, and doing it, and don't bloody well stop. 1 step at a time. You need a roadmap in this business, which is your upline. You need to know where you're going. Next month, Mary and I are speaking for Chris and Julie Gibbons up in Manchester, and we're really, really excited about that. Now, we're not going to get in the car, and I'm not going to drive down the road, turn right, drive on, turn left, turn right, and hope that I end up in Manchester. I'm going to get a map out and find out where I'm going. And if you're going to build this business, you're going to get a map out, and that's going to be your upline direct. And you're going to get that direct, and you're going to pin them down, and you're going to say, I want to be 21%, tell me what I've got to do. And if you want to be 21%, and he really believes you do, he'll tell you. And if you're prepared to listen and do what he says, you can be 21%. Because I pinned Ken Smith down and said, I want to be 21%. What do I have to do? And he said, well, you do this, 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 and this. So I did that. And I said, I've done that. What do I do now? He said, now you do this, this, and this. And I said, I've done that. What do I do now? And we went silver in 7 months. And Ken and Pauline were there all the time. And if you're lucky enough to be in their personal group here tonight, you have got very special people as leaders, I'm telling you. Very special people. Do you know, most people spend 1 or 2 weeks of their life planning their summer holidays. They spend 1 or 2 weeks of their life planning Christmas Day. But they won't spend 2 or 3 hours on a Friday afternoon planning the rest of their life. They let somebody else do that. The only decision they have to make is what time they set the alarm clock in the morning. Am I frightening you? I hope so. And the only reason I'm doing it is because I know this business is going to be the biggest retail concept this world has ever seen. Nobody is going to touch Amway because it's going to be the biggest and the best business the world has ever seen. Because of the people that are in it, simply because of that. Life isn't a rehearsal. It's not a rehearsal. Okay, you don't get to 85 years old and turn around and say, well, I didn't do too well that time. I'll have another go. You don't. You're going to get one go. You get one chance. One. I want to just leave you with a few dreams, okay? Just a few dreams. Imagine, just sit there while you're looking at me and thinking, God, I don't know if I could talk to him. He sounds like he's obsessed. Yeah, I am obsessed. I'm obsessed with my future. I'm obsessed with my wife. I'm obsessed with my new house and my new cars. I'm obsessed with my travel prospects. I'm obsessed with my life is exciting. Is yours? My life, I'm so looking forward to next month because I don't know what's going to happen, because I'm planning for some of the things that are happening in our group. We're going to have a new direct this month. We're going to have new silvers in the next few months. I'm so excited. Are you? Are you excited about your life? Are you excited about where you're going? If you ain't, you're in the right place. Because you can get excited about your life. The White House in Washington, D.C. Las Vegas, yeah? The casinos. You guys have got a few bob to spare, you'd have the time of your life. San Francisco, Golden Gate Bridge, Fisherman's Wharf, the Grand Canyon, one of the 7 wonders of the world, Malibu Beach, Long Beach, Los Angeles, Rome, Capri, Sorrento, Pompeii, Malta, Naples, the Algarve twice, Tenerife, Gran Canaria. Amway money paid for Mary and I to go to all those places in the last 4 years. Is it worth it? I'm on my 4th new car. It's not bad really, and that's in 2 years, because we didn't buy one till we went Ruby. I'm on my 2nd house on Amway money. I'm not bragging. You just need to know that the business works. And that when I get up in the morning, I get up, roll out of bed, crawl into my ensuite shower room and have a shower. And if I've got guests, they've got their own bathroom. And if they've got a car, they've got their own garage. Okay? You just need to know that. That when we came in this business, we had a police flat and a clapped out VX490. But it doesn't have to stay that way, does it? If you believe in the Amway business. You can do it too. And I want you to do something for me, please. If you're afraid of me, that's silly, right? I want you to come and talk to us. I want you to come and speak to us. If this pin stands between me and you, I'll take it off. Because all this pin is a symbol of our level in the business and a symbol of my, if you like, ambition. It is nothing to stand between me and you. I'm the same as you. It's just that we found something that could change our life. And so have you, but perhaps you don't know yet. You can do it. We know anybody can build this business. Absolutely anybody. I watched a complete cripple go across the stage in Washington to pick up his executive diamond pins. The man can't even walk. John Bell Crow. Look, go for it, okay? Do it for you. Do it for your kids. Do it for your future. Give it a bash, all right? Give it everything. I talked to a couple this afternoon at counselling. They said, Peter, we're going to give it 5 years. I said, it won't take 5 years. They said, we're going to give it 5 years, and if it don't work, we're going to quit. I said, if I can't help you to go direct in 5 years, you better quit. It won't take that long. You're going to have to earn a living somewhere. You're going to have to earn money from somewhere. I'm not saying you have to leave work to build this business. If you enjoy what you do, then you go out and do it, and you do it proud. But if you're in the Amway business and you want to change your life, then you do that proud too. Because you're on the finest business opportunity you're ever going to see. And if you've got anything negative to say about it, don't say it to me. Don't tell Daddy. All right? Anyway, all I want to leave you with is we know you can do it. You go out there and be the best person you possibly can. Love people, care for them, and it'll come back. If you hurt people and you don't care for them, that's going to come back too. Take it from an ex-copper who stuck a lot of people inside for it. See you later.